Okay, hello. Just gonna assume that works. Get ready to go. Keep going. Oh, I'm not hearing any audio. Oh, keep going. Good. I'm gonna keep going. Super close. I feel great. Uh, Super close to kind of getting this thing, kind of shippable, and then I can kind of stop thinking about it a little bit. I have to get it out of my system. So I think where we left off, the point is to just maybe summarize super quickly. The point is, oh, is my browser gone? Stop it. The point is to build a nice library in both Python and TypeScript, which allows developers to define any sort of data model you like, and then to have this thing conversationally, proceed that way and populate this data model. And so where we left off was, it's not bad. I got most of these fun casts, I've called them, working. This as language was just broken. I think I might dive in and actually fix this now. So, yeah, my last bug was if I say as language here like this, I want to activate all these. Yeah. Right, like that, right? Something like that. So let's see, underscore. That's fine. So in order to do this, the point is this as lang is basically a global. So every time I do a little sub name to it, it needs to accumulate them, And then if I do like a pig Latin, right? Pig Latin, right? If I pass a string, that should be associated. So I'm going to go redo that. It won't be too bad to redo that. We can still be a little cheeky. What I could do is, so this sub name like this, maybe I'll write down what I'm thinking here. So I think to be a little more disciplined, you might want to make a new class. I could potentially ask Claude Code to do this, but it's on my mind, so I think I know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to say, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to do it like this. Decorators work only one of two ways, right? So if there are no subnames, right? Something like that. If there are subnames, then each subname, right, exactly. Each subname if there are one or more subnames, then each subname um, I don't know exactly what I'm saying. Okay, so let's work it out. So then what that's going to be is a sub dot, what are the, let's see, subnames is it like, oh, let's just say dictionary. Let's just make an empty dictionary for the moment. Because what it's going to be is it's going to, right. So if I do like this, right, like lang.fr, that's going to generate fr, exactly, mapping to none. But then if I do lang.de, Delaware accent, right? Kind of a bad example. Let's maybe not do that quite like that. Let's say lang dot like Chinese. Yeah, exactly. Traditional. Yeah. Exactly. That would map to, can you guess language model? Nope. That's how that would look. So that's how these subnames will look. Will be tracked. And so if there's any of them, so what can never happen is the LLM is required to return as lang, and then also like an as lang fr, something like that. As lang Chinese, right? Yes. Yes. That first one and these second ones would never happen. I guess it could. The point is, as soon as you define a subname, let's see, as lang. So I could do as lang. Yeah, fine. We're gonna keep it. I don't care about two small bugs. So what are we doing? I could do that. Yeah. So in order to implement this, so now let me think. Oh, no, wait a second. This is bad. This is bad. I was gonna track it in the decorator, but I don't want to, because if I go and do an as lang on another method, you know, in a totally separate definition, I don't want any of these to apply. Yes, yes, yes. So sub, should I switch over to Claude Code? Let me keep going. So sub, where were we? It's not going to work as a property of this decorator for sure. So if I do dot Greek, I think it has to chain them. Let me think. If I do as lang French, as lang, does it queue them up? Maybe it does queue them up and then dump them on that method. But it runs in reverse order, right? So let me think. Like as lang.traditional Chinese is going to be past that method. So it needs to just add it onto that method. Okay, so then it returns that like decorator does it. Let me go read the code. I think, actually this is probably something Claude Code get pretty good at. Let me think. So it's not these sub names, right? So the point is, so to like review, you know, that init runs here, right? I just pass in a couple of, I say, oh, this is going to be your name. This is going to be the like underlying data type that the LLM is kind of going to have to build. And then here's like a description, right? So that's init time right up here. So that's what, so that's, and then it's done, you know, as lang is done. It's done. It will never initialize again. So primitive type is fine. These subnames is definitely wrong to do here. Let me just comment it all out. Something like that. I do want this though. I don't know. I'll just keep that code there. So right. So here's when it gets called. So I have two things to think about. Why doesn't this work? Class object. Let me just run that then. Object.get attribute. Yeah, I should run super. Do I need to pass in self here? Is that the problem? No, of course not. Let's break there. I think it's fine. I just want to run that. Sub underscore name. Okay, keep going. Whoa. Where is that? Sub name. Ah. Is not none. Oh, it's here. This. Oh, because I changed my implementation. That's what it is. Right. Okay, so if you do .fr, let me think. So what is this saying? If I do .traditional Chinese, right? That's the get attribute. Let me kind of clarify the logic a little and kind of say what I mean, right? So that's going to run. And then the point is here, what we know now is we could actually say like, well, let's actually do this, right? If the name, I would do regular expression A through Z. Yes. Is identifier. Oh, nice. Is identifier. That's cool. Return true if it's a valid Python identifier. Or is alpha. I'm not going to sweat it. I don't need to have problems. I don't want to fight about individual characters. Who cares? Okay. So this we don't care about. And then it returned itself. That's the point. Do I want to return self or do I want to return some sort of wrapper? I could try accumulating them. Yeah, let's just keep going in order to accumulate them. So yeah, let me just pause there. Go. This can be the Chinese one. Decorator. Oh, wait, where's that coming from? Subname. More implementations. Let's get rid of the subname stuff. Nope. Nope. None of that. Field ID. Subname. Nope, 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 nope. Commented. Good, go. Okay. Right, perfect. So FR. Oh, right. Oh, God, this is cool. This is subtle. I know exactly what it did. Okay. When I define them like that runs top down, it's just that then they have to define decorators, and then the function runs through the decorators bottom up. So they define top down and then they execute bottom up. So FR is the first one coming to me. So I almost wonder if I could, like, my question was, could I build up a queue of these and then dump them when it's time? I think I might be able to. I don't know if it'll be like thread safe or whatever, but let's just go. So here's the point. I don't know anything. When it's running, I just literally don't know anything except I'm going to have to stick that onto a function. And then, at least if I return myself, it could be a wrapper of a wrapper of a wrapper. I don't like that though. That might be more like language safe or thread safe or whatever, but I'm just going to go. So here's what I'm saying. The point is, in the decorators, when it's initialized, we are so, like, keep a queue of subnames which need to apply to the callable whenever it is wrapped. Whenever it is which need to apply to the callable when for wrapping. That's basically the point. So we're gonna bring these back. Self.subnames. Yeah, we're gonna make a list of. Wait, do we want subnames? No. We want a dictionary. keep track subnames, which will. Okay, I think this is gonna work. Let's do this, and then I like to. So it'd be like FR, right? So let's bring this back. Boom. Boom. So it's going to be something like that, right? Awesome. This is totally going to work. So then what that means is if I say at lang.chinese, what that really means is, hey, please populate the dictionary. Just please populate. So we're going to and set Chinese equal to traditional. And then when it's time to actually wrap that function, here's where the callable actually, this is when the callable is really known. That's why it's initialized here like this. So here's the casts. I think almost certainly prompts and fields, casts. What is this? It's the prompt. Right. This is almost certainly, this is going to need like re-implementation or change. So I think that's going to work. And then it has to like zero this out. I think that's the problem. Once these all kind of queue up, whew, they queue up, queue up, queue up, queue up. And then they apply to the method. And then they need to kind of zero out, because then when I hope that works. I think it works, because then if I reference it here later, you know, like if I go at aslang.fr, in a long form French paragraph expounding on the number, right? Something like that, right? So, something like that. So then as French dot aslang as French, get rid of that. Okay. Let's try that. Let's just run it. I think it's pretty close. I don't want to get too cute because I'm worried about it running in JavaScript. Okay. What are we doing? Oh yeah, I broke it here. So the decorator has been defined and is now running. It's now time to decorate this callable, which is my enthusiasm. Okay, stop. This is a pain in the neck. Let's just go disable this, right? Yeah, sometimes. Now let's just comment it all out. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just comment it out and keep going. Okay. So, FR. Okay, so this is definitely wrong. So I think the point is we gotta go self dot, what is that? What was my little namespace? Sub names, yeah. Sub names. So that's a dictionary. So then it's gonna be sub name. Oh. Let's see. Okay, so this is not okay, so if I just do this, right, like subname equals none, that's the idea. And so that's queued it up. Although the problem is if I do .pig Latin and I pass it in like this, then it needs to have an underscore call method on it. And it does. If I return myself, let me keep talking this out. If I return self, it does have a call. It's going to be this one though, which we don't want. Prompt. No, that's for saying, or maybe I could. Maybe I could. So that's for saying, you know, as int, and then you put a prompt override. Actually, let me catch that. Let me catch if there's a prompt override. This could work. I could just kind of note in my state which one to override. This might work. So here's the point in this call handler here. Yeah, so if it's callable, so if it's not callable, exactly, let's break. Okay, run it. I think I get this. I think it's going to work. So FR. Oh, let's actually implement it right. So FR. So what we do is we say self.subnames. Yeah, we set it to none. Actually, this is, yeah, if name and self. That would be good. I think that's right. So then we'll set it to none. And then return. And so then by calling. Yeah, exactly, with a string. So I think that's fine. And I think that call, I think I just have to add a little implementation there. So let's just run it. Whoops, stop. Let me kill it and run it again. I think that's right. I think it's going to work. So we're decorating. What are we doing? This is the name is FR. So I've just put it in there. There it is. And I'm going to proceed. No, let me come out. Right. Ah, so there's nothing. So then we're going to keep going. DE. So now my subnames has FR and DE. Great. Keep going. Erlang expression. What's the... Okay, so the next one, it's going to do pig Latin. And then since I return self, it's going to call self with this string. And it's not going to work, but I'll let it go. Go. Okay, so this is pig Latin. So we're returning self. So I hope when I hit proceed, it's going to break here on line 230 because it's been a prompt passed in, not a callable. But the point is that prompt applies to a sub name, not the primary name. So 230, yes. So that's working. So I can kill this. I think I know what I could do. You just kind of do like this. Self.current subname. Yeah, just kind of cheese it. Track subnames. So then the way that would work then is then when you get attribute like this, yeah, just kind of remember the last one done. We'll see if this works, or we'll see if this scales, but for the moment, that's fine. So you remember the last one done. I'm going to not break there anymore. So then when it's time, so now we don't know if it's an override prompt. We do. Let's see. Right. It's because current subname, right? Override prompt. Right. That is an override prompt. Target equals none. Target return decorator if target else decorator. Cool. We don't want to return that. We want to return self. Right? Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Pretty sure we do. So this is an override prompt, but we do it like this. We could say the override prompt applies to the whole decorator. Ooh, that might actually be another bug, but or the active, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. In fact, I don't really like that comment. So let me, so if the current sub name is a thing, then that means, right, applies to the sub name, right? So just remember it and return myself and return self. I think return self will work. I'm trying to decide. I think it does. So we're going to block there. So we go self. What is that? This is, it's passed in. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes. Exactly. And then null it out. So it's set. The override prompt overrode it. I think this is going to work. Whew, I hope this translates to, I think this translates. If this were just like plain JavaScript, this would all be super easy because it's all just dictionaries and stuff. Okay. The override prompt applies to the subname. Wonderful. I wonder if there's a Python library. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a nice decorator library that helps you do stuff like this, little namespaces and stuff. But anyway, this is perfect. This is like exactly what I want. So then we'll break here, right? Let's break one more line, let it populate. I think that's gonna work. Okay. Wait, what's it doing? Yes. Cool, it's calling, but the callable is the pig Latin override. So then, all right, our sub is not none. So that means, oh, when you call, it's a decorator. So these do wrap each other, I think, right? Function Chatfield casts. Whatever, I can fix these bugs later. So next, I think that's good. So now my sub names is French none, German none, Erlang expression none, Pig Latin with an override. So that's really cool. So that's all my overrides. So I'm going to let it go. So now we're finally decorating that function. We're finally decorating that function. Lang, lang, lang. Yeah. Right, because these are all repeated calls. I'm not sure if this is, I don't know if I'm doing an anti-pattern. I'm going to keep going though. So so here's my right favorite. And so if I look at my self dot, what is it? Sub, yeah. Here's all these fun languages that have queued up. French, German, Erlang, Pig Latin, Thai, Greek, traditional Chinese. It's all in there. So the casts applies here. Function underscore Chatfield. I feel like storing it on here. Oh, I guess it works because The decorator constantly returns the function. That's how it works. Okay, yeah. I was really confused. I'm like, wait a second, these are wrapping each other. And if I return self, isn't that weird? Sometimes they wrap, like this is a decorator. That's a decorator. It's going to return a wrapper. And then, but then what about this field? What about this underscore Chatfield? And all these wrappers. And the answer is no. The decorators ultimately, it's never wrapped. The decorator does not return a wrapper. The decorator returns the function itself. It actually inserts data into the function. So I'm super happy. So to proceed then, we're going to init. So then the casts here, I think I could basically break this, right? Self.prompt, represent as words. Yeah, I can basically break this. So here's where there's two different operations, right? I think I know what I want to do. Either you loop through the subnames, or that's where it was like this, right? If there are no subnames, then the decorators apply. Let's just move that. So down, where was the code? Where the heck was that? Yeah, here. So when it's time to decorate the function, if my name is already in casts, oh, that's fine. Yeah, because these are all casts. So either if there are no subnames, the cast is this name. And wait, where's that override prompt come from? Where's that override prompt come from? It comes from calling it in. Yeah, way up above. Right. I feel like instead of returning decorator, you could return self. Anyway, let's keep going. So decorators work only one of two ways. If there are no subnames, the cast is the name, and use the override, whatever. If, right, whatever. If there are subnames, ignore the name. Ignore the name. What is it? Oh, the casts are, there's one cast each subname with this name prefixed. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So here's the original prompt. And the point is that prompt cannot be used. Right. It's like, yeah, primitive type, string. They're always string. They're always the same primitive type. So that's cool. Where'd that primitive type come from? Self.primitive type. Oh, yeah. Cool. So there's the prompt. The point is I want to loop. I want to loop through these. So instead of field ID, I want to make like a loop. Either, yeah, it's my primitive type. Oh yeah, oh that name, that's why it gets stringified right here. And then either the override prompt or my prompt, right? Let's just do the subnames real quick. So the way that would work is let's just for each it real quick. So that's going to be like sub name, yeah, and sub, yeah, sub prompt, yeah, exactly. So if the sub prompt is not defined, that's where this subname, where's that format? That's where this format string runs. That's where the format string runs. Here. That's how that works, right? Wait, if the sub prompt, it's this self-type prompt. That's the point. Right. So we're looping through all the subnames. If it's not defined, then go and take, let's say subname here. Subname here. Yeah, like that. Go and format the original string and pass in this subname right now. So that'll be the sub prompt. Perfect. The type will always be set. And so then that's the sub prompt. The sub key, you could say. Yeah. The sub key is just going to be exactly my name underscore suffix, right? My name prefix. And so then, look, that's the field ID here, right? This is the sub key. Let's just say field ID. Let's keep that. That's how that works. So we could say like new casts. Right, subname. Type prompt. So that's the sub prompt or self.prompt. Right, self.prompt. So either, so that's if there are subnames. So we could just kind of do like this, right? You could go casts equals empty, and you go, yeah, exactly. No subnames, so just cast the name. Yeah, exactly. So casts, right. Cast self.name, type, and then exactly. Else, right? If not, that's fine. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Doesn't have to be great. Okay, so these are all our casts. Yep, let's do this type name. Yeah, exactly. So this will just be type name, nice and clean. So these casts here, I don't think it matters. Let's just pull the real one, right? Func dot underscore Chatfield subcasts. Yeah, like that. Let's just put it in. So if there's no subnames, this is the old code. You know what I could maybe do is just return prompt equals prompt. I could maybe just return the function field ID else. Yeah, I could just probably return the function. All right, so that lets me dedent or whatever. Okay, so otherwise, right, do one cast for each subname exactly. We loop through. If there is a subname, the cast, yep, the prompt is either the override prompt or the one set for that subname. Wonderful. So if the prompt is not set, we do automatic with subname with this subname ultimately coming from this field that they type, DE, whatever. That's how that works. So we're going to pull that, we're going to format it, we're going to pass it through. The field ID is going to be my name prefix with the subname suffix. And then let's, the prompt is either the override, let's just, or the one set for that subname. Replacing exactly, basically that's the point. Okay. I think that's good. So then what is this? This prompt stuff doesn't matter, right? Prompt. It's all inside. It's all done. If the subname is done, cool, cool. We don't need this anymore. And we return the function. Yes. Done. Right. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So then we return the decorator. All right. Woo. Go. Okay, Pig Latin. So we know this. This is old stuff now. So if I look my subnames, yeah, looks great. Keep going. Okay, so now we're actually decorating. So, yep, the type name. Oh, shoot. Fix that. Okay. This does have subnames. So that's going to come out false. Skip it. Otherwise, do one cast for each subname. Correct. We're going to loop through. So for example, FR. So it is none. So this is the magic one. So it's going to run the prompt and it's going to substitute FR. So the new prompt is going to be represents as words and translates into the language : FR. Yes. So that string looks good. And then the field ID is going to be as_lang_fr. This is totally working. And so then that's going to populate with the prompt being the sub prompt. The sub prompt will always be valid. So we'll do like that. So I'll let it go. I'll let it all run. Shoo. So now we're decorating. Oh, now one thing is I did not drop. I feel like I should drop this. Like if subprompt is none. I feel like I should zero it out the next time because it's decorated the function. So it queued all of these up and then it decorated, it applied them all into this function here. And then I think it should drop. Yeah, I'm almost certain. I'm just going to do it right. So the point is once it decorates, oh, that's a little reason to not. That's a little reason. So then if not self.subnames. Right. As lang. Yeah. Let's keep going. So if there's no subnames, we're going to do that. What am I going to do? Else. I guess I'll just do else. Something like that. That's what I was trying to avoid. This code's a little harder for me to read. I don't know. But the type. Okay, fine. We populate it all. And then the point is, because then you want to go zero out the sub. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And exactly none. That's what I wanted to do. Self.current subname equals none. So restore it back to be ready to decorate another method. I think that's okay. And so then that's what allows me to do an aslang here. In fact, let me like decorate that. Or let me break there. So let's run it. Okay. We're decorating. We loop over. Yeah. Right. We have subnames. We have French. We have Pig Latin. We have all this stuff. Let's run to this line here. Run to this line. Oh, come on. Oh, it's looping. Let me stop it and just break here. Go. Okay, so it's looping. So what that's saying is func._Chatfield is going to have all these casts. Yes. There they are. As traditional Chinese. So as lang_traditional Chinese type string prompt is represent into the language traditional Chinese. But then in Pig Latin, as lang Pig Latin prompt Pig Latin and in all uppercase. So that's been my override. So this is all working. That's been my override. And these are all the default ones. Yes. And so then I think if I just press play, this is least favorite, I think. Or is it? What is this function here? Favorite. I'm going to let it go. Let it go. Now we're decorating favorite. Keep going. Uh-oh. Aslang.th. Field aslang already has a cast defined. Nice. Already has a cast defined. String. Where did I do that? That might be good. Run PY line 88. No. Nope. Least favorite? Or wait, where's my exception? Oh, yeah, run it. Where'd it crash? Terminal. Here we go. 238. I threw my own error here. Already has a cast defined. Field already has a cast defined. Actually, yeah, let's catch there. Go. If it's not totally working, then it's very, very close. What's going on? Oh, we're casting. So I'm going to just let it go. Zero it out. Let it go. Zero it out. Let it go. Here. So let's just look. So self.name is as lang. Where are we in the call stack? TH. Oh, it's like this Pig Latin. It's like the Pig Latin one ran. And then, so wait, when you run call for a subname, The override prompt was remember and return self. And then I forgot to return self. Is that my bug here? Is that my bug here? That if you override, then just return self. I don't think I want to return the decorator. I think that's fine, because then it'll call. I think that's fine. Let's go. I think it's fine. Okay. Go, 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 go. Where is this? What are we doing? We're decorating go. Oh no. Okay, there's my cast defined. Looks good. Oh, actually, as lang should never be in here, should it? If self.name as lang. Actually, this is wrong. Although I think I might have two bugs, because see, func._Chatfield. So the cast, there shouldn't be an as lang. There is. There is. That shouldn't ever happen. Maybe that's why I need to return that decorator rather than self. Let's block here because at the moment we're only doing as lang. Already cast. But the other problem is this is not quite right. It should be more like this. So that it would be a collision there. Because that is normal operation. And then here, right, it would be like that. In the cast, raise value. It'd be something like that. Self.cast. It'd be something like that. Okay, we'll try to break there. Otherwise, we'll let that stick. Same thing up here, no subname. So the cast is just it. You get your override prompt. Well, it's not an it the field. Okay, let's go. Phew. All right, so we've zeroed out field ID is traditional Chinese. Right. The decorator has run. Yeah. In my debug console, can I press up? Yeah. The decorator's run, it's all been stored into that object. Yep, it's all been stored. Oh, and then let's look if there's a wrong one. No, there is not. They're all good. So not only have they all been stored, but no wrong ones have been stored. So that's good. So then we're going to keep going. Go. Ah. So this is, it's calling the same favorite. It's self.name is as lang. So this is bad. Why is it doing that? Maybe. What? It's decorating. Again, let me think. I feel like, so I could make it detect this case and say, oh, you've already decorated, just no op. I think the reason might be because it's returning self here. I can't think if I want that or not. When you call it and you pass in a string, yeah, this returns myself. So that is a decorator. It's a callable. If I pass this in, no, I think it return self should be fine. Oh, I return self? Yes. Yes. Okay, I got it. Yeah. So if I pass a string, then the first thing that happens is it does get attribute and it says, "Oh, we have a Pig Latin subname here." And then secondly, it secondly, so that just sets that up, and then it returns self, right? Because I'm trying to be cheeky. I don't want to make a new object type. So because it returns self, so now it calls self and it passes it this new string. So I already implemented, well, it knows, hey, we were just talking about Pig Latin. So this string applies to Pig Latin. That's correct. But then it returns self again. And because it returns self again, now it's just as lang. And then later on, it's going to have to decorate. And so now it says, well, I'm just as lang. And it's zeroed out all these. So I have a couple of things. So I think, so that's the bug. So one fix would be pretty easy, which would be to say, like as lang, these decorators must be either, subtype only or, top level only. It's either as int and you get it that way, or they only have these. I think that's good because I don't want at as lang. Yeah. So if I let there be a distinction between subtype only and not, then it can just say, oh, I'm a subtype. I'm just gonna not decorate anything here. So let me think. So that could be when you initialize, right? Like this. Field cast decorator. You could pass it in. Subname, right? There could be another parameter here called like subnames only or something like that. Let's see. Subnames. I'll just do that. Subnames equals true. Something like that. Let's just try that. So then in the initializer, it's going to take subnames bool equals false. Yeah. So then we'll just store that. Yeah, we'll just store that. Oh, I see. Bool equals false. I see. So we'll do it this way, right? If not subnames, then self.subnames. Let's just make it none. Something like that. Current subname can definitely be none. That's fine. Else, just that basically. Let's just tidy it up. Right. Else none, right? We'll do it like that. And we'll just leave that comment in there like that. I don't know. That's fine. So now it'll be none. So now there's like two modes here. There's top level mode and subnames mode, right? And it's clear. So then if we go look, let's go change some code a little bit, right? So now this is going to be easy, right? The override prompt applies to the subname. Yeah, so we got if self subnames is not none, and the current name has also been provided. Then put it in there, and the current subname blacks out. And then do we return self? Fine, we can return self. So then in the decorator, right, if there's no subnames, you just cast the name. You just cast based on name. These don't need to be zeroed out. So we can return back to this, like, just return, right? We can return it. Yeah, I kind of like that better. So we're decorating. So if there's no subnames, then, or it's more like this. Yes, exactly. If the subnames is none, we make sure we don't collide, right? Because by zeroing it out, when it zeroes out, where does it zero that out? Here. No, that's the initial one, right? Yeah, that's the initial one. The decorator. Oh yeah, just down below, it's going to zero them out. Yeah, it's going to set it to a new dictionary, so it's still going to be not none. It's still going to be defined. Okay, so that's fine. We cast that way, and we're happy. Otherwise, do one cast for zoning. Right. So this loop might run 0 times. That's the point. So, and, you know, if it zeroes out and then it runs again, I think that's okay for now. The prompt is either the override, right? If the subprompt is none, so we could do this subprompt equals, or this thing. We do that if we want. We format the field ID. We check that that collides also, and then we do it again. So I think that, okay, and then, yeah, zeroing out is fine. And then we return the function again this way. Right. That's fine. It's not the most like clean, dry code or anything, but that's okay. Self subnames. Okay. Zeroed out. Let me just let it go. String. What is this? Let it go. What is it? Chatfield. As lang FR. Yeah. Wait, why are we zeroing out so much? Yeah, go. Go. Why is it? So it's decorating favorite. Go. Zero out the subnames. Oh, maybe by queuing them up. Yeah, maybe by queuing them up, there's nothing for it to do now. Go. Ah. So self.name. Ah, as int. Yay. So this is correct. So as int is not a subname type, right? As int. Ah, so here it is. So as lang. So here's the new .fr. So if we go in, get attribute, right? It doesn't start with that. So what are the subnames? Empty array. That's awesome. Although I need to put a little to-do in here. Or we should do like this, right? If not, if self dot subnames is none, we can just return it and let it throw. It's going to throw, so that's fine. Cool. So now if we're in subnames mode, then we do that. Cool. So my subnames is empty. That's good. We step over. I'm going to let it run. lang.fr, and it passes it in. Let's just let it go. As lang.fr, go. Go. What is that? Let me unblock it. Go. Oh dear. Wow. So what if I say 20? Wow. What if I say 23? Come on. Woo. Woo. Oh, cool. Yes. Ntway ethray. Yes, yes, yes. Good. Wow. Okay, that was decorators. That was some decorators. Whew. Okay, so if I look at my trace, at some point when it runs here, it runs this, it calls this update notable numbers, and the update notable numbers schema, yikes, is, so first of all, what's required is, yeah, value, conversation context, as quote, as lang French, as lang German, as lang Erlang expression, as lang Pika. So these are all required, and as int. Yeah, these are in like reversed order, I think. Or actually, these are in proper order because I append them to a dictionary at definition time, which goes top down. And then Python keeps dictionary key order. So then these are all required. And what are they? Whoo, it looks good. It looks good. So as lang underscore fr is, we're going to translate to fr. As lang de, we're going to translate to de, right? See, here's one where it'd be nice for the title to reflect something different. But that's okay. I had always thought if it matches the, like, you know, the Unicode code, maybe say that, you know, so that you can just pass it in. Let me just write that in a little to-do, because it's right here in the, where is that? Yeah, like a to-do here. I thought if the language matches like the standard name, like FR, or, you know, what is it? FRCA, yeah. Then tell the LM that. Something like that. Okay. So let's keep going. So as lang Erlang expression, yeah. Pig Latin, and then this is the great one because I override that and I say we want it to be called as lang Pig Latin, but the description is Pig Latin and in all uppercase. Whoo, totally crushed it. So then it passed in these variables. Where are they? Least favorite. What? Oh, that's the schema. So then it passed in favorite. 23, context, doom, as a quote, as French, as German, as an Erlang expression. That's cool. That would be a valid Erlang expression. That's cool. And then as Pig Latin, Yisipsam, as Greek, as traditional Chinese, awesome, and as an integer. Very cool. Very cool. Whew, okay. So I fixed, so that's what it took to go from, to go to, I think that there may be some small bugs or there may be some subtle bugs from running like, I don't know, multi-threaded or whatever, the way it just gathers up things. But for now we're good, right? So let me just, implied favorite float, none. So let's get out of there. So, and all it cost me is I have to say sub names. Let's just say sub equals true, huh? Right. We'll do that. So sub equals true. So if I say sub equals true, then that means it gets the, that means it gets those. So with that, woo, let's go look at the types. That's awesome. So let's go to the top, type transformers. So as choice, we're gonna skip, we're gonna come to that in a second. As date, I don't really care as much. As duration, as time zone. Get field transformations. Right, nope. Build LLM prompt for all transformations. No, right? For the field, the user said, please provide the following transformations. Right, no. As dict, as set, right? As lang, right? Nope. Okay, good. So what else is in this code here? As duration. Okay. So the only thing now is that could be as choice. The thing now is oh yeah, give me my long form French paragraph. Let's do that over here. So if I say I like 23 and I say I don't like 87, it's writing a French paragraph. Right. Yes. Le nombre. Very cool. Yes. So not only, so it's not, so I, as a developer, I just go object dot least favorite dot as lang underscore fr. I just go my object least favorite. And if I do that, then I get a string. I'm going to get the string 87. But if I go dot as lang fr, I've prompted it. Oh, I've prompted it. I might need to fix it, right? It should be aslang.fr, but we can fix that. That can come a little later. I think I'm gonna have to revisit maybe a little bit of the syntax up and down. So I want it to be like that because that's how I defined it in my data model. But that's totally awesome. A proxy, I think the proxy can do that basically no problem. So very awesome. Yeah, it's been lost that this is like unrolled from a little loop or something. This is unrolled from a little object, but that's okay. There's a lot of ways to fix that. So that's working. So if I go back, what I was thinking is I want a generic way right? That was, maybe it was in my README. I had some examples of kind of some generic ways to do, not hints, match. It was match. So this would be, so now this is a as bool, right? I don't know what this match would be. Let me check my audio, make sure. This is it as bool. Yeah. Um, this was the original idea, was you can just say, well, is it personal? Is it work? And this is kind of evaluating true or false. So now that would be as bool now, right? But the idea is, you know, right. So do we want to let as bool? So now are we back to saying well? This would almost work if I just let you say at asbool dot personal dot asbool dot personal dot personal dot asbool dot asbool dot personal. Yeah, asbool. I think that's fine. Okay, cool. So this at match stuff, was there anything else? Must, right? As int, as list is done, as date format, that's cool. As choose one. Right, as choose one is awesome. So yeah, it was just this at match stuff, advanced usage, hint, must, yeah, at match dot conservative, at match dot aggressive. This is all kind of like Boolean. So we could do dot as bool dot conservative. Or I could do like dot is. Oh no, is no good. Is a reserved word in Python. So do I want to say dot as bool? I think I do. So what that means is now we're back out of explicitly defining submode versus not, and we're back to allowing. So here's the point. You know, yeah, I think we can do it. So we're back to defining. So let's see if we say least favorite. Let's just comment out least favorite for a second. So we'll say favorite, and we'll say just as bool, right? That's the point. And also as bool dot, right? You know, even. Yeah, exactly. True if the number. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Odd as bool dot power of 10. Oh, 2. Wonderful. True if the number's a power of 2. Right? That's the point. As bool. Right. Okay. So, okay, so that's going to throw right now because it's going to say, no, you can't do dot even on a, yeah. Oh, oh, that's good to know. Good attribute. So we could raise it. What was that? Yeah, raise if name in self dot subnames. If it already has a subname, cannot set it again. Dot fr. Yeah, that's correct. We could raise it here. Do not support. Oh, but the point is that's going away. And then we could raise, whoops, we could raise that here. Fine. Oh, no, that's correct. So we're back to making this. We're back. I didn't even check in the code. Shoot. I hope. Let me check in the code. Let's just check in the code. I'm kind of not in the mood, but and it's gonna be a totally broken, incomplete commit. Right. Okay. So it's checked in now, so I can. So now we no longer want that sub anymore. It's no longer a thing, right? So that would it be like sub only? So as lang, yeah. Let's undo my. So it's not that it's sub, it's that it's sub only. What is this must stuff? I'm gonna get out of there. Okay, so here. It's not that it's, wait, not call, right? What is it? Init interview decorator? Nope. Field specification decorator, yeah. Field cast, right? So it's, yeah, we'll say sub only. Equals false. Right. Okay. So if it's sub only, we will remember that. Okay, we'll remember that. So we will initialize these sub names back. Cool. So that's fine. So then when there's a, so let's go look. So now get attribute. It's going to be easy. So if not self dot, oh wait, sub only. Yeah. Wait, is it sub only or name only as int? No, they can all be subclass. Some of them are like sub only. I think that's right. Okay, so we're fine there. We're fine there. So then what? Can attribute. Let's get going. Field specification, field cast. So that's the subname. So then when it's called, here's where it's a little tricky. So then when it's called, if it's a callable, then the override prompt is none. Okay. If it's not callable, there's no target, and the override prompt was passed in. Right. Def decorator. Return decorator target if there's a target. Right. So if there's a target, we have to actually decorate it. And if there's no target, we have to return a decorator. Right. Because sometimes the target, right. Okay. So if it's a string like here, we definitely have to return. Yeah, this returning self, I think it's working though. It's okay. Okay. Self.subname is not none, and self.current subname is not none. The override prompt applies to subname. So if they pass in the override prompt, it's not callable. So this subnames is always going to be not none now. That's the point. So if the current subname is active, then this definitely applies to that, and we'll just return. I think that's okay. And then in the decorator, it's no longer one of two ways. It's no longer one of two ways. Self.primitive type underscore name, yeah. I gotta just break here. It's subnames is never gonna be none. So how do I know? Like this, right? And then, because it could even be like that, right? It could be like that for sure. So let's make sure that works. In the decorators, whoa, stop. What's it doing? Okay. The value can be set by calling this object with a string. By calling this object with a string. Yes, if you pass in a string immediately, it will apply it to the current subname for sure. Track that. Yep. That because of happening here. So then you pull that, you apply the override prompt, zero out the current subname and return self. So then in all other cases, we return a decorator. The question is, how do I know? Basically, how do I know when to, or it was like sub only, right? If not subnames. Yeah. So there's no subnames, right? If not self.subnames. So it's if self.sub, yeah, exactly. Print, skip, right. Decorating. It's a like self.name. Skip decorate, self.name. Sub only decorator, right? Something like that. And then we just return the function. Exactly. I think that's how that works. So if there's no subnames, let's see. If self.name is in the cast, right? Like top level. So if it's sub only, we skip. If there's not subnames, let's say like that. If I think that's right. Let me break here for sure. How do I know? Let's see. And if as lang tries to apply itself, let's see. Oh, as bool. Let's actually comment it out for a second. Yeah. Let's say odd and power of 2. We'll keep those. Okay. So then, interview, stop it. Okay, so the question is, it needs to know, because, I think I know maybe. Maybe it can start with empty, like that could be an empty string almost, almost like this. What I'm trying to say is the subnames and the sub prompt is this items here, or let's say like subnames, right? What I'm trying to say is I could make this generic, and I could say, okay, at decorator time, I think I figured it out. So it's time to decorate the function. So you do all subnames, and then, but also my own name too, unless it is sub only. No, that's not gonna work at Boolean. Oh man, how do I make it convenient? Okay, let me think. So at decorator time, there are subnames only. And here, it would just pass it into a call. It would pass it, this would be callable. I think that's the point. Let me move these decorators over. Okay, I think I finally got it. This would be a callable. Top level? Yeah, let's do that. I think that's the point. If a callable is passed in, then there's like an implied, oh, okay, that's the top level one. Right? I don't think so, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. This is totally insane. This is totally difficult. Okay. So it's being called. The callable is the favorite. Let's clear these out and look at, what is it? Self dot subnames, is it? Yeah, here we are. So odd and power of 2 have been defined. And then it's been called in, I think, on like basically line 75. Where's the call stack? Here's the call notable numbers. I don't know if that's right. Why it's green there. So my theory was, well, so like self.name is just as bool. So is that like, well, okay. Let's see. At as bool. That's gonna do nothing, right? It's gonna return this function. Let me keep going. So the target is that callable. Override prompt, and the override prompt is null. So then now we're defining the decorator, and then we're just going to return it, right? We're going to apply it to the target right now. Okay. If target, else decorator. Right. Okay. The target is known. It's my method. All right. So proceed. Yep. Now we're calling it. Okay. So there are subnames. Right. Self.subnames. There are subnames. So this is going to skip. Mm-hmm. No subname. So the cast is just this name. This is what I'm not sure, but that's going to skip also. Okay, so now we loop. Subprompt. Self.prompt. Right. This is Boolean. Fine. Mm-hmm. Go. Go. So it's been formatted and just basically corrected. True if the number is odd, false if it's even. Yes. Subname is subname. Right, because I passed what is it? True if the number is odd, false if it's even. Is that what I passed in? Subname is odd. Yeah, I did. So the field ID, it's not in there. So if I let that go, where's my watch? Self.subnames. Yeah, func. The Chatfield object is capturing them as bool odd. There it is. So I'm just going to let that go again. So that's as bool power of 2. Going to let that go. And so now we're calling on the favorite again. Let's see. Self.subnames. So there's been wiped out. What's the call stack? Notable numbers. This as bool. Oh, look, it moved up a line of code, I think. Maybe it's this as bool. So we're going to go. Here's the decorator. We're going to let it go. Right. So there are no subnames. Go. So bool is not sub only. So it's not going to skip. Right. Now, subnames is never none now. If subnames is none, no subnames. So cast it just as we will. If self.sub only. Right, so that's a bug. Shoot. It goes like that. If there's no subnames, then, right, we cast whatever. Let's actually get the Chatfield object, huh? Func._Chatfield. Yeah, let's actually do that. Chatfield. Okay. That's in the decorator, yeah. Where is that? Right. Yep. That one. Done. Okay. So if there are no subnames, it's a top level application. If it's a sub only, then we just definitely never apply anything. Otherwise, we check if the cast has already been defined on my name. And if not, we put it in there. And it's either the override prompt or the self.prompt, right? So then, I think there's a small bug, but we'll keep going. So then, for the subnames, the idea is to go pull the sub prompt. Either it's already been defined in there manually by the user, by the caller, or apply my own prompt where the subname can be substituted through. Wonderful. Then the field ID is going to be my name underscore the subname. We're going to check if that collides. It's fine. And if it doesn't collide, then that is what gets saved in the casts. I think the only error might be if you don't call it, but that's fine. So this target, let's break it here. So this target is my favorite object. Right, let it run the decorator. So in the decorator, we're decorating it now. How are my subnames? So there's tons of subnames. So we're going to loop through. We're going to define fields. We're going to define casts. I'm just going to let it go through. As bool power of 2. As bool power of 2. Go. Okay, so here it's being called in again, the favorite. Let's just step over. The decorator. So we're defining the decorator. So the favorite subnames, current subname. The target is callable. The casts work. Let's see, what do I want to do? Uh-oh. Return decorator, let's let it apply. So then my subnames has been nulled out. And so then it's not going to skip because I'm not sub only. So it's going to make it as bool. Yeah, there's not an as bool odd. Yeah. So there's going to be an as bool only. Let it proceed. Go. Let's break that there. Go. So now we're running for, it's, I think this might be when it crashes. It's running a second time and it's gonna, I think it's running a second time. Maybe it's because of this returning self thing. Maybe I don't want to return self. Let's see if that works. I don't know if that works. I feel like it's fine. Yeah, I don't know. So then, are we defining the decorator? Let's run it through. So it's, so this is, where's that self.name? Let's go. Yeah, bool. So that's fine. I think this is going to throw because it already ran. If I look at my Chatfield casts, we've already got as bool. So it's running like twice. So I could just let it overwrite it and just kind of have a little bug there. That's gonna, yeah, that's gonna throw. As bool already cast. And so I think that's the same bug, which is that if I do this, it's also gonna run that as bool. Right. So it is callable. So the target is that favorite, obviously. Let the decorator go. So the sub names is odd and power of 2. So that's all good. I'll let it proceed. So as bool odd, I'll let it proceed. As bool power of 2. I'm pretty sure. Field ID. Yeah, power of 2. Proceed. So here it's running again. let me try this return self. Maybe when you, here it's running again, so call. So if I pass a string, it'll associate it and it'll return a decorator. Okay, so it's running. So this is the improper, like bad call, right? So it steps over, go through, and now these subnames are all nulled out, right? But it thinks that it wants to, yeah, exactly. It thinks that Boolean, like if I let it, oh, is it gonna crash again? Go. Right, right. Ooh, get attribute. All right. Notable numbers has no attribute, least favorite. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So there's the AI prompt. So it thinks that did it print it at all? Favorite, none. Oh, right, it's not like populated yet, right? What is your favorite number? So let's just bring least favorite back to satisfy my thing and then run it again. Okay, I'm gonna let it go. Go, 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 go. Lots of them. Right. Right. So if I say 23 here, it's going to, yeah, as bool got thrown in there. So let me see. I'm not totally sure, but I feel like this return self may be trouble. So we'll just let that go, right? So if the current subname, we return the decorator. When you call it, so you go at as dict and you call it as list, as set, .fr. No, it should return myself. And then if you call this in, it should return myself. I think that's wrong. No. I think that's right. We're overriding the current. So that's like the only part of the code that works. So then though, you pass in that override prompt. So because this returns itself, and then you pass in the override prompt and it says, all right, I've applied that to the override prompt, and then it returns itself. So that's why it's going to receive a call, and it's going to receive the real method. So if I do as bool, that will do the call. So I need to either not. So if I do as bool.even, that's going to ultimately boil down to just as the as bool object. And so, ooh. So if I do like that, if I do like this, the as bool even object, then I need to differentiate between this function being passed into it and saying, oh yeah, I do want you to decorate that, versus from this case, I see. So maybe it can't return self. If it returns, it either has to return self and it has to notice. No, that's not going to work. It can't notice that this returns itself, and it has to notice. Oh, this is explicit, and this is not. No. Right. So by calling dot even, you know what I could maybe do is pass a, let's see, as bool. By calling dot even, at as bool and as bool dot even and as bool dot odd, right? By calling so this returns a decorator. So this is going to be called and it's going to be passed in this one. Even this populates the subnames. Even populates the subnames and then returns my object, returns my decorator again. I wonder if I could ask Claude Code. I wonder if I could ask Claude Code. Maybe that's the step. Let's try asking it. Yeah, let's try asking. Let's see what it does. Okay. Help me in Chatfield slash what? Chatfield slash decorators. Stop it. Decorators. The field cast decorator. I want these scenarios to work. Right, backslash. So if I just go like at as bool. Oops, stop. At as bool. Def a field. So then it'd be like this. Pass. So referencing dot a field dot as bool, true or false, right? Boom. Boom. But then if I go at as bool, dot, right? As bool dot what? Understandable. As bool dot what? Any boolean. As bool dot spelling. Right? Audio dot a field dot oops. subname. Does in properly in my example. All right, let's see what it can do. I don't know. Yeah, go get it. Do you? Yeah. Okay. Maybe the subnames should just all, I mean, if I'm going to make Claude Code do it, get attributes called with spelling, subname spelling. Call is invoked with the function the decorator checks. Let's keep planning. What about as bool is a decorator as bool dot whatever becomes a totally different decorator. No more subnames. Would that work? Oh, we got a point. Much cleaner approach. I bet it can do that. That might not be bad. Instead of modifying subnames, we're going to make a new decorator with a modified name. Totally. It will look like that. The call method, yeah, no more tracking logic. This is going to be nice. No subname stuff. Update the init method. Let's do it. Let's do it. Maybe that's better. Okay, let's go see it. I think that's smart. Get attribute. So it's going to create a new decorator, right? Instead of this return self stuff. This is going to be nice. Maybe I should have done this a long time ago. Come on, what's it doing? Some tokens. Let's spend some tokens. What's it doing? Is it really indexing, or is that just a cheeky word they use? What is it doing? Come on, hurry. I want my code. Ooh, there we go. Yikes. Big changes. So it changed all this? Decorators? Okay. Okay. But if the user customized the prompt, oh yeah, that's definitely nice. Okay, so under init, there's no more subnames. Let's go read it. Field cast decorator. All right, we're back to normal. Call. We're back to normal. This sub only is kind of okay. Okay, cool. Duplicate cast. And then we put it in. Wonderful. Wonderful. So this is where this happens, right? Create a new decorator instance with a compound name. That's the point. Format the prompt if it contains, right? If sub name, right? The compound prompt, default behavior, append the subname to the prompt. Self.prompt. No. No. Let's do that. It's always that. It's always that. Subname equals name. Let's see. To the language. Yeah, let's call it name. A long time ago, that was what I wanted. So we're back. And then we return a whole new one. It creates a whole new one. There's a new name. There's the same primitive type. There's the new prompt. Right. Cool. Does that look good this way? That's fine. Okay. What else did it change? Right. Okay, this is nice. If this worked, then this is the correct way. My idea was definitely wrong. If software current subname. This like started to spin out of control now. I've got little nested objects and all this stuff. Sub only, love it. Okay, so I like all that. I like all this. We're doing testing now. Okay, let's just get it out of there. What's changed? Okay, good. Well, then let's run some code. So then we have s bool, right? Even, odd, and power of 2. Let's see if that works. So let's just let it go. Go. That's not bad. The only problem now is to like merge them back together, but that's okay. That can be a bug for today. So if I say I like 23, yeah. So as bool power of 2, so it's not a power of 2. It is odd. It is not even. And then it's just true, right? Sorry. Actually, right? Whoop. Oh, did it say no? But it isn't between 1 and 100 like I asked. Can you make an exception? 0. All right. I don't know. Will it? It did. Okay. So, uh, so as a Boolean, it's false now, right? That's the point. So it's even. Now my favorite is 16, right? So now that's a power of 2. It's not odd. It is even. Totally right. So I think this is gonna work. I think yes, I think I did the wrong. I think I had it kind of so that if I just turn that off, it's just gonna work, and as bool's gonna be missing now. The only thing is you have to get them. They don't do a dot; they do a underscore, but that's okay. So if I say 23, it's all as bool. It's all underscore as bool underscore power of 2 as bool underscore odd. It really should be dot. But that's okay, because that as bool has to be a proxy. I like it. I like it. I like it. This is fine. This is fine. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. So now they can all support it, right? So we can go back to the languages, right? So if we turn on the languages, right? And we run it. Oops, run. Let's run it here, huh? That'll be fun. So I say I love 64. Oops. Right. Yeah. Cool. So my favorite is 64. Nice. Power of 2. As bool, is it a power of 2? Yes. As bool odd, yes. Even, yes. Traditional Chinese, yes. Greek. Pig Latin with my custom prompt. Yes. Totally working. Totally working. Okay. Let's check that in. Maybe that is decent. Yeah, I'm glad I asked Claude Code. That was awesome. So sub only. Oh, we could try that. So like as lang is sub only. Is that the point as the decorator? Yeah. So if I do just at as lang, it should throw, right? I'm gonna make it write all these unit tests, so that's fine. Yes. Yep. That's correct. So it's gonna say nope, as lang must have sub attributes. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Cool. So decorators. Okay, so got the sub name working by making decorators create others. Well, that's close enough. That's close enough. So the types is just a bunch of red. Let's go read those types again. I wanted to do one more thing. So as duration is fine. I want to do this as choice, as choose one. I think it's going to be pretty easy. Date time, don't care. Duration, don't care. Time zone, don't care. It's really this choice, this choose one and as choice stuff. Oh yeah, so we can have like, can we have like as int, right? We can have as int. We can also have as int dot negative, right? Exactly. As int dot random. Just any random int from 50 to 6 to 59, right? So if I run it and I say least favorite, director can only use, oh, did I not fix my bug? Whoops. As lang is not valid there. Wonderful. Go. 9 o'clock. Okay. I dislike whatever 19. So it's going to populate that. Yeah. As int 19, as int negative 19, and as int random 54. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay. Okay. So that's awesome. So if I go look at my types, we have as choice, as choose one. What's as choice? Select from provided choices. Mandatory and allow multiple. Right. And as choose one, that's what it was. As choose one is returns as choice. right? These are a little different. This little decorator, right. So let's get into that's the last like fun one to do because as choice is super powerful. Okay, so let me go off and keep thinking. So let me keep thinking. And let's go write it down first, right? So if I say as choice, let's just say as choose one, right? Let's do that. So if I say at as choose one, do I have to, yeah, I have to pass in parameters. I have to pass in, this one might get a little tricky, but that's okay. I must pass in, uh, right, like, the point is like starts with, you know, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, starts with F in English, starts with T in English, all other numbers, right? Mm-hmm. So I could make it do key values, you know, so I say, oh, choose from like this drop down. Mm-hmm. In other words, like this. In other words, like this, as choose one, sort of like that. Yeah, exactly. You know, and then, no, that's fine. Let's make that out of scope for now. Because I don't like how that, I don't like it. Because then that would be cool. So then you just do like object.favorite.choose one, you know, dot whatever, F equals F or something like that. Now, choose one definitely has to have it must. So instead of saying as, yeah, we'll say as choose one. Yeah. Dot, yeah. As choose one dot like spelling, right? So it starts with F in English, it starts with T in English, or all other numbers, right? So we have to choose one. And then in my types, did I say, yeah, there was mandatory and allow multiple. So am I going to do mandatory? So that was choose one. Do I want it to choose one? Yeah, choose one is just going to be mandatory equals true. Mm-hmm. Now, I think there's ways to put this in the schema as to say it must be one of these strings literally. but we're gonna skip that because this could actually be like an integer. I don't even know. So we're gonna call it right. We could have another one, right? Like as choose one, or maybe it's like as one, or as choice would really be it, right? As choice. As choice. That's kind of cool. Ah, as choice and as choices. Ooh, that's nice. So instead of as choose one, it's just as choice. That's cool. So then you could have like power, right? Um, you know, approximate power of 10. Oh, wait, no. Power of 10. Yeah, between, let's say, smaller than, 23, 23, 23, or 24 to, yeah, 42, and then larger than 42. Yeah, exactly. So that's like its power, right? So instead of as choose one, we'll do as choice. I like that. Let's go just put that in, put it in there. Stop it. CE, as choice, so that's done. And then we'll import it, and then we'll do as choice. So we'll say we're gonna have some as choices. Yeah, that's cool. Power and spelling. We're not gonna have this as choose one. We're not gonna have keys and values. This is like a, like a web form, like an option. What am I trying to say? A select element with option drop downs, and they have key. There's like the computer readable value and the human readable value. So we're not gonna do all that. What we will do is this. All right, so that's already like not gonna work. That's already not gonna work. And the reason is as choice. Let's make one, right? As choice equals, I don't think it's gonna be a field cast decorator, or maybe it's a subclass. Let's see. So as choice, right? Okay, so that makes it a decorator, but right, it's sub only. And the point is they're gonna pass in arbitrary keyword arguments. Yeah, I'm almost certain this thing needs to be subclassed. So let's say field cast decorator, field cast multi, or field cast choice. Yeah, let's do that. So then let's just do this, right? Interview decorator, no, it's a field cast. So then let's just do this. Class field cast choice, yeah. And we're just gonna import from field cast decorator pass. Okay. So let's go get that and put it here. All right. So we're gonna subclass it. I think that might be all that's needed. Field cast choice decorator. We could actually go look, right? Oh, this is bad. Field cast. Right. Is it that primitive type? No. No. How could I use this? So if I said choice, right? So there's the prompt. Maybe no. Right, so there's the prompt. That's fine. The prompt's going to be passed in here, right? So it's going to be, you know, choose exactly one from these choices, right? Something like that. And then what? Choices? I guess that's kind of how that works. Yeah. Okay, let's subclass it a little bit. So this get attribute, we'll do like, let's just do this like return self.clone, right? So there's the new, right, name equals compound name, primitive type. Am I just passing it all in? Let's see, self.clone. The problem is, no, that's not going to help me. Compound name, compound prompt. No, I'm just gonna have to steal this. I'm just gonna have to steal this whole implementation. Yep, and stick it in here. We're gonna have to have a new implementation. Like, what is that? Choose dot some choice, something like that. Okay. We'll keep the implementation. The compound name, it'll be as, yeah, the compound name will stay. This compound prompt's totally gonna change though. Because, yeah, so init, no, it's when you call. Yeah, this callable or prompt. Let's go get that. It's when you call that's the trouble. Uh-huh. Okay. All right, we're subclassing. That's fine though. I'm willing to subclass for this choice. I love this choice. I've loved it ever since I implemented my first one. It's such a fun and convenient. I didn't really intend to get back to this, but I've implemented this. You choose many, choose one, mandatory, you know, optional. You can return anything. It's such a powerful classifier. And to ask this, you know, billion-dollar computer, hey, just like here's a string from my user. Drop it into one of 3 categories for me. 1 line of code, done. So nice, so nice, so nice. So nice. So that's okay. So we'll break there if it's a callable or whatever, because these things have to be. So these choice ones actually. Let's go get a init. Let's just go get it. Let's just go get it, because I'm gonna make it do like this. Call init. Oh yikes, fieldcast. So after fieldcast, yeah, here. So self, name, primitive type. Actually, I think doesn't matter. It's just going to be strings now, right? Or it won't even be. Yeah, we're not going to have a primitive type. Yeah. Right, like this string is not really helpful. Yep. So this is as choice. Choose exactly one from these choices. Okay. And then sub only equals true will also not be needed. And the reason is, so let's just say, so we go super, yeah, exactly. Name. And then, no. Oh, yeah. Yeah, what is that? The primitive type. equals string. The prompt equals whatever prompt I passed in, yeah. And then sub only is going to be true, hard coded, right? That's how that works. And then let's break there. I don't know what else to do. So this, oh, I forgot I'm, so this new decorator its subclass is my original one. We're going to say that you have to have sub, sub commands or whatever I call it, these sub prefixes. For the moment, I'm just going to let it go to string. I don't know what that means because it's a compound type now, so it's not clear exactly. So then that's okay. And then this get attribute, that's another one. Let me just break there. So instead of returning fieldcast decorator, it's going to return fieldcast choice decorator. And then the name is going to be the new name. Yep, compound name. The primitive type is no longer a thing. The new prompt is going to be the compound prompt, correct. But instead of name, what did I say? Choices. Yeah, it's got to be choices. Get attribute. The prompt is like, the prompt is not known. Yeah, the prompt is not known. The point is, I'm saying, oh, substitute the choices. But they're not known when this decorator is defined and, and is defined. The choices are passed in later when this thing is called. So we got to deal with that. Whoops. So where was I? Yeah, here. It's going to be here. So what do I do? The prompt. So for a new caster, because the point is you don't get the choices until I think it's going to be something like this. Args. I think that's the point. Right. I think they're all going to come in here like that. That's the point. So, so this field casts. So this format, the prompt is not going to work. Not relevant. So the prompt is just going to be self.prompt. Just keep it. And then sub only is going to be, that's also not a thing. Let's just do that. Old fashioned. Okay. So we return a new one. Field cast choice decorator name is the compound name. The name is a compound name. Fine. And then we keep the prompt, basically inherit the prompt. I shouldn't say inherit. It's another object of the same type. They're not parent child in any way. It's just literally instantiated a whole new one and then returned it. And now this, the original object has forgotten, if you like, all about that. It just helped to create a new one based on a call for a missing attribute. Okay, love it. So I think that might be good enough to run. Let me see. So then it's just as choice, and we're saying choose exactly one from these choices. Fine. And then let's run it and see what happens. This is awesome. I want to see this as choice object. Let me see it now. Step over, step over. Yeah, cool. So here it is. There's its name. And then if I do like this, x equals as choice, and then I say, oh, blah, like let's say foo bar baz. Boom. So x is now, is it in here? Is it a local? Yes, it is. Oh, that's a none. And wait, what's this XXX thing? Oh, look, it printed. Oh, look, it called me. Hey, oh yeah, you can't, I think when I invoke the code from here, it doesn't block. I don't know why. So we'll keep going. So that worked though. That called, and then it's printing out its arguments. And foo has been pulled into this callable or prompt here, and args has not. So now let me think. No, yeah, it's kind of annoying because I inherit it. It's still like it allows calling it, passing in a string, or a actual method or whatever, callable. So we'll fix that too. So let me just stop it. Yeah, it's good. So then over in the decorators, this call, this is working. So let's go get, so why did I knew that I had to fork it off. I knew that I had to fork it off. Let me go copy it. I don't remember why anymore, but I'm going to go get this code. So I'm going to start by copying and pasting, but I think it's going to, I'm optimistic. I think it's going to be nice. So this call here. All right. So if it's callable, then that means the real method's coming in. If I look at my real usage, whew, look at all this code. It means this is already run, if you like, you know, or I guess another way to put it, actually, let me think about it that way. The first time it's called, a string is passed, or actually, yeah, one or more arguments are passed in, or strings, let's say. Or let's just say it's not a callable. So the first time it runs through, it's going to be this else. Right. That's why it's a prompt. With custom prompt. Let me get rid of this comments. They're kind of distracting me. Yeah. So if it's not callable, the target is unknown. The target will be passed in like momentarily. That's the point. Yep. Target will be passed in momentarily. So, and it's an override prompt. Now, but it's not really an override prompt anymore. It's just like arg1, really. It's really arg1. Let me just call it that. Because all of the options, let's just say that. Okay. Or let's say this. What is it? Args. If it's callable, that's definitely the target. And then let's say like choices equals none. Let's try that. What do I want to do? I don't know why I'm in the mood. I'm changing my mind. I don't know why. So it cleans, so by doing that, it kind of cleans it up this way. So if it's callable, you make that the target. Otherwise, so instead of, so it arg1 is that callable. Let me do this. Um, whatever, I can do it by hand. So I'm gonna say all of the arguments. What's that's a tuple? I can just cast it really easily. So it's like this: all underscore args equals. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It can. It's listening to me. Yes, exactly. So that's all the arguments. So if it's not callable, then that means if it's not callable, that means they're passing in choices. So these are the choices. In fact, let's just call them the choices, right? I guess we could quickly do like, right? Yeah, deduplicate or something. Or let me think. Does that retain the order? Whatever, I'm gonna keep it simple for a moment. So then, R1, so that's the choices, right? So now it's defined. So then, so we're gonna have a decorator. Let me think. Right. Choices always gets defined first. So if it's callable, that's going to come up false. The point is I have to return a decorator, right? Right. If it's a target, so there is no target. So I just return the decorator itself, right? Oh, and it'll never run. It'll never run. Actually, okay, I think I know. I think it should never receive a callable here. The decorator should receive the callable. I think that's the point because this thing is like you know you know subdomain only, right, as choice. So that means it must return a decorator and it will never be, and then that decorator decorates. This thing never receives the the callable itself. I think that's correct. All this cleverness is for making it be either or, you know, like that. This it was for all this clever, you know, as float or as float with a custom override. That was the point. But these, ooh, no, as choice will not have a custom override. Yeah, we're gonna, no, I'm not gonna have custom overrides. So then what that means is, so I think it's like this. Rates. Yeah, I'll take that exception. So I don't have to think about that. Oh God, I was like splitting. This thing started as one object and now the implementation's kind of spread and it's a little awkward. So we're getting rid of that target and choices and all this. There's no target anymore. There's no target. You always return the decorator. The target is never defined. Because it's, if we're gonna throw if it's callable. I hope that's right. I think that's right. If it's wrong, I still have the because it's not dry. I still have the old implementation from the old class. So that makes the choices be. I think I could kind of do it like this. Union callable. Let's try that. maybe. All right, I don't want to change that code. It's fine now. I'm throwing if it's callable, so that's okay. So then the choices will be the same thing, right? Was it a list? No, it was the callable. Stop it. Yep, thank you. That's the choices. Then, oops. Thank you. All right. So that'll be the choices. And then those choices will be ready for, you got to put them into the function. And so, ouch. Okay, so here's this type name, right? That type name. So that's where the type, right? So this is okay. Sub only. I don't care. I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't care for a second. Okay. We pull the Chatfield type. We initialize it. So I do have a primitive type name, but it's just string. This is all that goes in there. I mean, you could do list. You could do list of type string. Yikes. It's gonna be a pain in the neck on the other side. You could do list of type any. Yeah. In fact, let's keep it string. Let's keep it string, because if it has to choose one, let's get choose one working and then kind of think about expanding it out to return multi. Because again, just to like super over optimize, you could have a simpler schema to let it return choose one. I don't know how much that helps. All right. So what do we do? Add the cast with either override prompt. Let me check my audio. Oh, I forgot I'm still on video. So what do we do? Add the cast with either the override. So the prompt is going to be the choices, right? It's like self.prompt. So this is it, right? Like dot format. Yeah, exactly. Choices equals choices. And then let's go. Oh, whoops. These are the choices. How do I want to format them? We could just like JSONify them. Add the cast. Let's see. Either JSONify them. Let's just JSONify them, right? What? F? Regex? What is this stuff? Always sneaking stuff. Alright, so let's just, I think I want to JSONify it. It could get, I think you could build it out really clearly, but I won't. So where are we? Interview, no. Field spec, it's the, here it is, choice, okay. So the prompt for the choices, oh, this is going to be super nice when it's done. This is going to be super nice. Choose one even is going to be fun, but it's going to be so nice. Okay, so oh, stop breaking at the defining of the decorator. That's boring. Okay, so now check for duplicate cast definition. Cast with either the override prompt or the default prompt. Okay, so we're going to format the choices is going to be, yeah, let's do this. Let's say at decoration time. No, let's say at definition time. Let's say like REPR choices, something like that, right? Exactly. No, it's going to be JSON. Let's say like choices JSON. Yep. God, is it reading me? Is it listening to my microphone? Ensure ASCII equals false. No idea. And then aren't there other? It's like the separator, right? That's fine. I'll leave it. I don't know what that ensure ASCII. I'll just do this. So that's the choices JSON. So then in the prompt, we're gonna make it the choices JSON, right? So what that's gonna do is it's gonna say choose exactly one from these choices, and then it's gonna be a JSON list. I could actually even say that, right? Choose exactly one from this like list of strings, you know? Choose exactly one choice, right? You choose a choice, is that right? Choose exactly one option. Is that a difference? Do the language models know? Choose exactly one item, element. Now it's getting from this list of strings, right? Choose the most like representative. Right. The most representative, the value, whatever. I don't want to over fine tune my prompt. Choose. Let's just get back to it. Okay, just choose exactly one element from this list. From this list. I think that's fine. It knows their strings. It's gonna see them. So then it's gonna be JSON. So it's gonna be JSON inside JSON, but whatever. I don't care. So then this could be improved, and I think done like pretty well with like structure and saying what type, but that's fine. So we're gonna say choose exactly one element from the list, and then so I don't. The point here is I'm deliberately not what do you call it? Evaluating it, uh, or whatever you call it. I'm deliberately not formatting it, and the reason for that is it has to just load into this uh, as choice object for a little while, and then later on, much later in the execution, it's time to decorate the function, and now I want the definition. So check for duplicate cast. So that's how that formats in right there. It just stores in the same as always. This type name at the moment is just going to be string. It's going to be str. It's going to be the string str, or maybe string. I think str, yeah. All right. And then, what is this return func here? Oh, yeah. So then we've monkey patched this function, and we're not wrapping it. We just monkey patched it. So we return it. We return the same one. So that's it. I want to run it. So that's going to decorate this as choice. So let me go see, do I have as choice? Yeah. So I have a couple of as choices. So, oops. Oh, let's say like scale, right? So the scale is smaller than, let's say is smaller than 10. And we'll say, is it 10? Is it from 10 up to 23? Stop it. And then is it larger than 23? That's the point. right? So it's just this weird, you know, user defined or problem defined, use case defined, categorization, bucketing, right? And same thing for spelling. Does the number start with F in English or T? Or another category? Because I'm forcing it to choose one at the moment, I'm not going to challenge its, I'm not going to try to make it explode like a Star Trek episode by, having no obvious good answer. So I'm going to let it choose those as I tell it my favorite number. Ready, set, go. I'm okay with that. I'm going to let that go. So now we're getting scale. So what that means is we've done as choice and we're hitting dot scale and it's saying, uh-oh, there is no dot scale. So we're going to make one. So that's going to skip. The new compound name is going to be as underscore choice underscore scale. Great. And then we're going to make a whole new decorator. So I'm just going to let that go. All right. So now there's a new lookup. Spelling. The compound name is going to be as choice spelling. So I'm going to let it go. Now what? All right. So, wow, made it far. No crashes. So I'm going to say, what were some fun ones? Small to 10, 10 to 23 is larger than 20. So I'm going to say 23. So that should be in this middle category in both cases. Whoops. Yeah, 23. If it works. I don't know if it'll work. Ooh. Okay. So I said my favorite number is 23. I'm bored with this man on the street stuff. I know what I'm going to say. I don't know why. Wait, what? Awaking from a... Yeah, I could have... All right. Kindergarten teacher? That's ridiculous. Wait, yeah, let's just goof off. Let's just have fun. It's open source. So it'll be No, it's not a kindergarten teacher. Let me click on my video so I can laugh in the camera. It's not a video. It's not a kindergarten teacher. It's the man's kindergarten teacher. We gotta double quote it. It's the man's old kindergarten teacher. Is that how you spell it? Let me make it spell it for me. Yeah. Thank you. Garten. And then I could say like Alice.trait. Since this is all working, I could say like Alice's trait is like like what am I trying to say? Like overtly implies that something, right, amiss, that something is amiss, right? Overtly implies that something untoward, something bad, something overtly implies that something is wrong, but never elaborates, right? Never elaborates. Thank you. All right, that might be fun. So, awesome. So, this is wrong. It's kind of interesting. And the scale came out right, and then the int. So, let's see that. Let's go look at that trace. 1, 2, 3, go. Let's go look at this trace. So, so here's the tool call. See if I click the right one. Yeah. So it's saying as quote. So here's, yeah, so it's saying as choice spelling. Okay, this is working. Choose exactly one element from this list, right? So it's a JSON string inside of another string. That's the problem. I mean, I could do markdown or something. I'm not sure if that helps. So, and I don't know. I feel like JSON inside JSON is something these language models, it's $1 billion computer, right? Maybe I think it should kind of know JSON in JSON or something. So that's the idea. The only problem is, I don't know, is my prompt wrong or this is basically correct. Without, this is what I was saying is you could, I think you could use Pydantic to, the description. Ooh, man, it's actually kind of close. The description just says choose exactly one element. And then yeah. Ooh, I think I'm going to try it. You get Pydantic to, I think you do like Pydantic validation or something. And from Pydantic validation, like you say, it's an enum or something like that. And it must be from these choices. I think that'll roll out, that'll map out to telling this LLM, you know, you have to choose from these choices, something like that. I don't know about choose multi and stuff, but so dang, that's going to be a little tricky. I'm going to have to, I know, I'm just going to have to stick this list in the definition. Yeah. So let me check some stuff in because this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. Init, right? Stop it. Init. Yeah. So let's commit. Like kind of somewhat working as choice implementation. So that's the point. So then it's the decorators, right? Yeah. Yeah. Git commit decorators amend. See head. Go. Okay. So that's the choice. These types, that's just deleted code. That's just all deleted code. Get field transformations. So no more code. And then the runner, that's fine. As Pig Latin, that's all fine. So it's kind of okay, but oh, I really want to do it because now I got it all working. If I go decorators, so instead of this, let's see. So it's pretty easy on the decorator side because I'm in Python land, right? I just say, yeah, the choice is this list. And so, oh, by the way, this didn't throw. So I think I could actually get rid of it. I think I could simplify all this code. This didn't throw anymore. Now it's just a, it's a thing. You initialize it with some initialization arguments, and then it basically is a decorator. It returns a decorator, strictly speaking, but or when you call it, yeah. So let's keep going. So I guess the point is we don't need JSON. We're gonna say those are the choices. There's Chatfield. we check for duplicates, and instead of the prompt, no, we, I'm gonna say type is, yeah, choice. Choice? Yeah, I'll say type is choice. The prompt is actually self.prompt. Oh no. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And then there's choices. Yes, yes, there's choices. That's the point. So we're postponing computing the prompt even further. Yeah, because I hope it can be computed in a pedantic way. That's the point. That's the point. So all of this is still basically serializable. This is just no longer a Python type. I don't think that's a problem because who cares? I want this thing to run in JavaScript. So that's fine. There's no Python types. Don't care. So that's how you decorate a multi-choice, decorator. So then on the other side, I'm pretty sure I know where it's going to pop out. Ooh, so for one thing, yeah, the type just comes out. It's there's a I think it's called OK. Yeah, it's called OK. Ooh. I'm gonna make it write it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Int, float, string, bool, list is list of any, set, dict, and choice. Thank you. Wait. Oh, thank you. Choice. Yes, choice. So, just get rid of that. So these are these primitive types, right? Okay, primitive types. So that's cast type. So you pull it, you look it up, and that's called the cat. Wait, why is it overwrite? Oh, I see. It pulls cast type out of there. I kind of want to break here. It pulls cast type out. Actually, let's break one more line. I always do that. So then it's going to check. Right. And the reason is we got to convert back to like whatever native types for Pydantic in a moment. Good. And then what types I get, cast type. Then it might sound work. What types I get. Yep. So I think I have it working. So right now it's gonna get string. I think that's wrong. Oh. Choice. Okay, there's a couple of options. I think I might be able to define it here in the same way that I kind of do like this. And that might work. So then you get the type. So if the type is choice, it's going to look it up here. Oh, I see. The choices needs to be in here as well. I'm almost certain that what you need is choices. Was that what I called it? Back in the decorator? Yes, I did. So I believe you got to pull that here. And like provide that. Yeah, so this could actually just be like choice. It could be like that. Something like that. And so then the idea is like if cast type equals choice, right? Wait. Nope. One line down. Right, cast info. Yeah. Like whatever. Yeah, let's just do that and then break there. Okay, I think that's right. So it's getting a little cheeky. I don't know. Adding a little complexity, but it's doing cool stuff. It's doing really cool and I haven't even really like made a fun, big big example. It's going to be fun. But so I guess a little complexity is okay. What do they say, like how much code? How much code grep? Word count L. What is that? Chatfield visualization 3000, but Claude Code wrote a bunch. I'm pretty much 100% up to speed with the main objects. 491 interviewer and 3. Yeah, about 1,000 lines of code that I like wrote pretty much. So it's not clear to me if I don't know. So I think 1,000 lines of code is kind of when something can get kind of neat and useful. It's not necessarily valuable, but it can start to get kind of useful. And then, but especially, I think promising, you know, you can kind of gauge its potential. That's what's super fun with 1,000 lines of code. And I mean, you can see my, every minute that I spend on this, I don't do any work offline. If I work on Chatfield, I click on YouTube. So it's all in there. It's, it's not a ton of time. And also I'm open sourcing. I'm stopping and smelling the flowers. I'm getting on tangents. That's kind of part of it. I just basically haven't published open source in many years, and just kind of looking forward to looking forward to it. Okay. So what are we doing? All right. So we're getting a little cheeky. That's fine. I've made my peace with myself. So we're going to map. So it's valid. So choice is valid. And so then if it returns choice, then we pull it. Bad type. Let's do that after. Yeah. Cast type. Okay, primitives get. No, let's do it just here. Choices. And then I'm going to have to break. Let's just run it. Is that going to work? Where'd it go? Come in. Yes. Totally did it. Totally worked. So hopefully let's just let that print. What's up? We can do that. We can do it. I can stop.
If it's 10 o'clock, then we cannot watch anything.
No, 10's way too late.
Yeah, 12 is the most late.
12 is the latest.
Yeah.
Yeah. After 12, then it's early. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yep. 12 is the latest, and then 12:01 is the earliest.
Yeah.
It's weird.
If it's 12:59, that's
Mm-hmm.
really late.
Super late. You got to go to bed. I love the Thai clock. Thai time, there's a traditional Thai clock, and it's 6 hours. They have 4 cycles of 6 hours. So they learn 4 different words. Oh, are you looking at me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That you made a video,
Mm-hmm.
and Isla was watching you.
Nice.
Did you remember I was watching you? Oh, that's me watching.
Yeah, you're gonna see yourself. Can I finish? I'll finish in 5 minutes.
But I want to see you again.
It's.
Oh, that's my hair.
Oh man, it's totally working.
That's my hair. That's my hair.
It's cool.
You're like, go away. And then that's my little face. I'm just hiding there looking at some things.
Choice. Oh my god. It's working. It's working. Let me see if the choice is. So that would be cast info. Sub choices. Please bear. Yes, it's in there. It's in there. I'm not gonna be able to do a a pydantic type. Although there's one I can try in like 5 minutes. if you go for 5 minutes, I'll go with you. Bye. Let me set my timer for 5 minutes.
And then when it's
Okay. All right. I have time for like one more test. So these all came in. So that's awesome. So the idea was like, so I have like optional, remember all these weird types that I always complain about? So if I go to typing, let me just quickly ask like Claude in Python typing, how can I represent a value which must be one of the um bar mass? Let's try that. Is it a union? Literal? Ooh, nice. Literal. Nice. Let's do it. So we have that. Typing. Literal. Let's do it. I saw that elsewhere. So then, yeah. So now when it's time to cast, so it's a choice. The cast prompt is the prompt. Yeah. The cast definition. So there's the cast type. So I got to overwrite the cast type. Equals literal. Oh, and okay, let me ask it some Python syntax. So if I have a allowed strings, how can I have a literal allowing only one of those, right? It might have said it, I didn't even read it. Value, allowed value. Enum, if you need a runtime, no. Type alias, oh my gosh. Literal. Yeah, let's try literal. Come on, Schwartz. Whoa. No. Enum? Enum, allowed values. Oh, no kidding? Okay, we can try that. We can try that. Enum. Option 2, define the literal. Can't be dynamic. Process value. I don't like that. Let's try this enum idea. Thank you. Stop it. Okay. Enum. So let's try this enum idea. So it's not a literal anymore. Enum. Now it's an enum. And we'll say allowed values. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. So that's the cast type, is this enum. Apparently, right? And then it's passing in a iterable as the second argument. Okay. We'll try that. Stop here, stop there. Ready, set, go. Go. I don't know if Pydantic's gonna do it or whatever. Values. Ooh. So the cast type is now an enum. Where is that? Cast type. Info cast type. Come on. Am I just missing it? Cast name. Okay. Enum. So the prompt, we're just going to keep it. And there's a definition. Oh, that's just making it a tuple. So I'm going to let it go. Let it go. Yikes. Is it working? Okay. So I'll say 23. Ooh. 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 Wow. Cool. Let's look at the trace, and then I'm gonna log it. I'm gonna try to finish tonight, but if I don't fall asleep. Ooh. So what I want to see is the function signature. What I want to see is the signature. I bet it worked. Called. Okay. Conversation context as just been. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Enum. 1, 2, 3. Wait, that's bad. Did it? Okay. As choice spelling enum 1, 2, 3. So, what did it say? Starts with F. Oh, I should just say like 4, right? Smaller than 10. Okay. So it's close. It's close. Go. I'm gonna say 4. Uh-huh. And starts with F. No. I'm gonna say what? 3, right? 3. I think it's gonna get it wrong. I think it's not quite taking those values through, but this is gonna work. This is gonna work. Right. All other numbers, yeah. Oh, because I picked 3, it's coming back 3, so that's a small bug. Okay, I'm gonna leave it. It's close though. It's super close. It's super close. This function signature is a little. Once this function signature is correct, then in the data definition with the language model, it's gonna force it to choose one of these strings. It's gonna be super reliable. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, I'm gonna stop for now.